Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. Check them out for all three so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help us all on our paths, or should I say you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your key to the week, you've got the death card. So this is you, right? So you show up in your own reading in some way, shape or form. Very strong. It means that in all of these different sectors of life this week, you show up as yourself. That's great, right? When we are unapologetically who we are, it really opens up the avenues or the lines of communication with the universe to send us the best and brightest that we are able to have. The other thing is, in all of these different areas of life, it is the death card after all. Endings, completions and culminations. There are likely to be things that are closing, and as the old saying goes, and there's a reason that the cliches have made it this far, right? When people say like, oh, that's such a cliche, and it's like, well, the reason that the cliche has lasted for hundreds of or even thousands of years is because they're true. Right? It wouldn't still be around if it weren't working. Okay, for your actions and options this week, you got the Eight of Cups. Okay, very, very interesting. So the Eight of Cups is, you know, it can be about walking away, leaving something behind, all of that good stuff. The actions and options is about what you do. And then you've got the death card as the key, which is basically saying whatever you're planning to walk away from, whatever it is that you're planning to walk away from, to let go of, to close down, to move away from, this isn't the time to do it. All right. If you can dig in and you can hold up, right, I'm going to ask you to trust me on this. Give me 2 months, right? Whatever it is that you're planning to walk away from, to shut down or to let go of, if you can give it 2 months and say that you honestly gave, whether this is a partnership, a friendship, a work endeavor, a study endeavor, like whatever it is, right, across the board, if you can stick it out for another 2 months and honestly, hand on heart, say that you really gave it your best shot, when you walk away, when you eventually do walk away, you will feel a lot lighter about it, right? But if you're planning to tuck tail and run on something this week, this is not the way. All right, as the Mandalorian says, right? This is the way, this is not the way. The other thing is with the Eight of Cups, in terms of the options that are available to you, it may look like you're able to leave something behind, but the death card says otherwise, right? So whatever you're planning to leave, to do, to close down, etc., this is not the right moment. For your communications and conversations, you have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, in essence, is really about what we fight for, what we're prepared to go to war for. And yet you've got the death card, right? So the message is you need to think about what you're planning to fight for or not, as the case might be, and you need to adapt or you need to adjust. The Queen of Swords does suggest that this week communications could be a bit strained, they could be a bit fraught, so that's something that you do want to watch out for. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this with the Eight of Cups, if you're planning to leave your studies, right, and you've got a whole bunch of reasons why, and you know, Raf, you don't know, and blah, 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 and all the rest of it, cool, no problem. Give me 2 months, stick it out, see how you feel after those 2 months. And if after those 2 months you still think, you know, Raf, no, it's not for me, do your thing, right? Give it those 2 months. You've got more grit than this, Scorpio. It's time to find or to remember, all right, that grit and bring it back to the forefront. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, Queen of Swords with the death card, this is not a battle that you want to fight. All right, whether this is with HR, whether it's with a boss, whether it's a superior, even if they are in the wrong, this week, specifically now, is not the time to fight this battle. You will not win, right? And I don't say that to you know, to gloat or anything like that. I want to see you win. If you've been with me long enough, you know, from time to time I will go on a rant about this, and here comes a Raffy rant, right? I want everyone to win. My subscribers, my followers, my YouTube, family, the Radiant Nation. If you are under the banner of Radiant Reality or the Radiant Nation in any way, shape, or form, I want you to win. It's why I do what I do. It's why I am as brutally honest as I can be, without upsetting people or whatever. This ain't your week, right? Yes, this is your energy. So yes, you show up strong in yourself. But the energy of the world right now is not with you. It's not with you for running away from a problem or trying to ignore it and bury your head in the sand. It's not with you to fight a battle that at this point, I'm sure intuitively, at least because you're a Scorpio, you already know you won't win, right? Stick it out. Give me a little bit more time. Give me 2 months. Right, and if at the end of that 2 months I give you full license and credence, you can come back and say, Raf, you're full of shit, right? You were wrong. I gave it 2 months, but you got to really try, right? You got to really give it those 2 months. You have to really dig in and work hard at it, okay? This is where you need to show that fixed sign energy. Now, the reason I say that you won't win is because the Queen of Swords, you'll bring all of the facts and figures, but there's something else that you're not factoring in here, and that's the human element, right? The nepotism kind of element of this. So whatever it is, your supporter or your detractor or your competitor or opponent, they've got other stuff on their side that you don't have at this moment, all right? It's not to say that it's always going to be that way. For now, for this week, it's not there. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this Queen of Swords with the Eight of Cups, whatever you've been doing up until now has worked until now. And quite frankly, it looks like it's not really working at the moment. And if that is the case, it's because there's something about what you're doing that needs to shift. Whether this is your business model, whether it's what you're selling, whether it's the products that you're making, whatever type of business you have, right? Something about that needs to shift. It needs to change because at the moment it's quite rigid. All right. When it comes to, oh God, come on, brain. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working, if you've had a legal dispute going on in the background or some kind of back and forth where it's been, quite frankly, a bit of a battle of wills, this week this could come to a head, right? It could come to a head, but it also comes to an end. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Three of Pentacles. This is a collaborative card, right? So working with your significant other, so for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, it may be an issue that they have that you are hell-bent on charging in, right? I'm going to weigh in on this and when actually what might be better is just to play the supporting role while they fix their own mess. Whatever that might be, right? This isn't about you needing to override. It's about you needing to collaborate. And sometimes that looks like somebody fixing, cleaning up their own mess, quite frankly. If you are single, it's possible that you could either, especially if you've been in like a bit of a situationship with somebody where it's like, it's on and again and off again and all the rest of it. This week, I think you're making a finite decision and the door is truly closed. Especially if you're waiting for like information, if you're waiting for a response, if you're waiting for, a final text message or call or whatever the case might be, like this week you'll get it, or maybe you don't. And that is the signal that it's, something has come to its close. This is not a great week to start something new, if I'm completely honest. And then finally, before we get into your money and materials, if you haven't signed up for the CUNA yet, what are you doing? You can get the lowdown and all the information on it and the links in the description box below, or you can sign up. You can join when you want, you can leave when you want. It's totally up to you, but so far it's growing nicely and it's doing really well, and it's so great to be able to access people on Telegram and give them all extra stuff that is not actually in the videos that I offer. And there is energy work, there's astrology, there's numerology, there's so much good stuff in there. So if you want to get that, you know what to do on the link in the description box below. And for your money and materials, you have the Ace of Wands. Love this. So you do have a money making enterprise or idea, but it is in its infancy at the moment, right? So you're starting something new this week, even if that's just laying the foundations for it, that potentially ends up being quite lucrative for you, but not yet. Probably within this 2 month sort of So if there's an idea that you've kind of said to yourself like, oh, well, that's going to take too long, or, oh, you know, whatever, it won't. 2 months. 2 months is 8 weeks. It's really not a long time, right? If you can dedicate even just an hour a day to whatever this thing is, eventually after those 2 months, it will start to give or yield results in some regard. Now, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is one of my favorite cards for physical health because it means that you've got your mojo energy, and coupled with the death card, this could be that you start to realize that there are certain things or activities or interactions even that just don't support your health in the way that they either used to or the way that you would like them to. So you're getting really clear on what that looks like this week. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, it looks like some of you are having like a backyard fire. If you're burning old journals, that's a really good thing to do with this kind of combination. If you are burning old works or old artworks, etc., things that just, you know, hold bad energy or bad memories for you, get rid of them this week, right? And if it's stuff that you think, you know, it'd be a shame to burn that, give it away, right? But find a way to cleanse your world this week because I think it could be really cathartic. Okay, with that said, let me know in the comments how it shapes up. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a great week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.